Hi, this is Shantia Meekum doing video essay number 4 on digestion for my anatomy class. So the question is, what happens when you're very hungry and you enter a house where you smell delicious food? Include both the nervous system and digestive system processes. So there's 3 phases of gastric secretion and digestion. The first one is the cephalic phase. The second one is the gastric phase, and then the third is the intestinal phase. So we're going to start with by defining some things. So gastric secretion and digestion are controlled by neural and hormonal mechanisms. Neural control is run by acetylcholine and hormonal control by gastrin. Control of hydrochloric acid production is controlled by 3 chemicals: acetylcholine, acetylcholine, gastrin, and histamine. When all 3 of those bind, a lot of hydrochloric acid is produced. The 3 phases of digestion can occur simultaneously. So going back to being hungry, that's part of the cephalic phase, is feeling hungry. This phase occurs before food is ingested. This phase occurs before food is ingested. It is what is triggered when you are hungry and you smell food. The cerebral cortex registers the smell, and the smell triggers the vagus nerve to stimulate the gastric glands, which prepare the stomach for digestion. The vagus nerve carries signals between the brain and the GI, the gastrointestinal tract. The vagus nerve is also why you felt hungry in the first place, because it received messages from the GI tract to send to the brain that the stomach was empty. Another reason you felt hungry is because when the stomach's empty, it releases ghrelin, which is an appetite stimulant. So the next phase after the cephalic phase is the gastric phase. This begins when food reaches the stomach. It's initiated by the neural and hormonal mechanisms. The phase can last 3 to 4 hours, and it provides about 2/3 of the gastric juice that's released. It's stimulated by distension, which is when the stomach stretches as food enters it. Peptides and low acidity, partially digested proteins, and rising pH activate gastrin secreting enteroendocrine cells called the G cells, and gastrin stimulates parietal cells to secrete hydrochloric acid. The final phase is the intestinal phase, and it begins with a brief period of stimulation and then inhibition. So the stimulatory phase occurs when partially digested food enters the duodenum, which stimulates the mucosal cells to release intestinal gastrin, and this encourages gastric glands to continue secretion. It is brief because it is overridden by inhibitory stimuli as the intestine fills. So that is what happens when you are hungry and you smell something good.